Hello, 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 and welcome. My name is Ali Kara. This is Unleash Your Light. And today we are going to talk about how you can get other people to change. When we look around at other people and what they do and how they treat us, we often want them to change, to stop. Don't treat me that way. Don't talk to me like that. Don't disrespect me that way. I deserve this. I deserve that. You don't have the right to speak to me that way. You made me feel this way. So, how do we get them to change? You change. You can't get anyone else to change. They have to want to change. You can't demand that they treat you a particular type of way and have them actually do it. You can't change what other people do by telling them what to do. I know. But you can change what they do without telling them what to do. You can change how they treat you without telling them how to treat you. But you're probably not going to like the answer. See, the people in our lives are a reflection of the issues that we have inside of us. And so the way that they are treating us is a reflection usually of the way that we feel about ourselves. When someone disrespects you, it's because you don't respect yourself. When somebody treats you badly or speaks down to you, it's usually because you believe that's how you should be treated. And even if on the surface you put on your I don't deserve that and nobody should treat me that way, underneath you're probably feeling insecure. You probably feel like they can see what's broken in you. Broken. And then you overreact by being defensive about it and trying to dictate to them how they should talk to you. Now, we also have to recognize that they are speaking to you and acting that way because of their own situations, right? Because of their own issues, because of their own pain, because of their own trauma. So when you're recognizing that what they are saying comes from their own pain, you can start to shift how you react to that, right? You can start to shift how you react to what they do because the only person that you can control is you. The only person's words that you can control are yours. The only behavior you can change is your own. And by changing your own behavior and changing your own words and shifting your own perspective on the situation, you will change their behavior. And you might not think that works. You might think that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. This person screams and yells at me every single day. I have to stand up for myself. Why? Why? Why do you have to stand up for yourself? Why? If this person screams and yells at you every day, first of all, you're choosing to be there somehow, some way, on some level. Secondly, they're screaming and yelling at you out of their own pain. And it may not be something you directly did, but it might be related to some sort of behavior that you have that connects with something in their path. It may not be about you that they're actually yelling. They may be yelling at that person from 10 years ago who hurt them. You just happen to be the one that's wearing their face right now. So when you recognize that, you can change how you respond. And rather than lash back out and yell and scream and stand up for yourself in defense, maybe you recognize I don't have to defend myself. I can just allow them to be in the space that they're in without taking it personally. See, when other people lash out, when other people get mad, it's rarely about the situation that's in front of us. It's usually about how the situation in front of us makes us feel and how it reminds us of some situation from the past. So really, no one can make us feel anything. You might say, oh, that person yelling at me, it makes me mad. In that moment, you don't have to react in anger. You don't have to allow it to make you mad. Anything that gives us a strong reaction is a clue to a place within ourselves that needs healing. So if that person speaking to you in that particular way or yelling at you makes you mad, you need to look at yourself before you react. You need to look at, why does this make me mad? Now, you could say, because they cursed at me or because they called me out by my name. No, go deeper than that. There is always more than just the surface. Follow the roots from that downwards into your past. When else did you feel that way? Go back as far as you can. Go back as far as you can to the person that made you feel the same way that this person is making you feel right now. And look at that relationship. And look at the belief that you formed from that. See, everything in our life creates these core beliefs. If somebody looked at you when you were 3 years old and said, something's not right about that girl, look at her hair, she's looking crazy. Or someone said, little girl, we don't want to hear what you have to say. Or little boy, you can't stand that way, you can't talk that way, you're crazy, you're stupid. What's wrong with you? You don't know the answer to that? You must be stupid. As a little kid, we don't understand, but we internalize that. Oh, I'm crazy. Oh, am I stupid? Oh, okay. And then we will start to find evidence to support that in our everyday life. You're trying to talk to your mommy, but she's on the phone and she says, I don't have time to hear you right now. That reinforces when they said, little girl, nobody wants to hear what you have to say, right? That reinforces that. And as you grow up, you will constantly have that feeling, nobody cares what I have to say. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. What I have to say doesn't matter. And depending on your life experience, that might make you louder and louder, or it might make you quieter and quieter. It might make you walk around always thinking, nobody cares about me, nobody cares what I have to say. What I have to say isn't important. It can hold you back in work. It can hold you back in your relationships. It can make you a less than effective parent. Or it can make you that person that screams and yells the loudest so everyone will hear you. Is that what the person in front of you is reflecting? Maybe. Perhaps the duality or the opposite side of that root of pain in you. So to change their behavior, see, they're reacting out of their own root of pain, out of their own experience. And just like you went down and looked at your own behavior and recognized, oh, I'm getting mad because he's making me feel the way that person made me feel, not necessarily because of what he's doing. You can recognize that they are doing the same thing, that they are yelling at you from that place of pain in their past. It's not really about you. But it is about you because it's there for you to recognize it so you can shift your own behavior, so that you can heal that space in you that is attracting that sort of behavior. And this is not about blame or fault. A lot of times when we talk about this, someone will say, I didn't ask to be abused. I didn't ask to be yelled at. I didn't ask for this situation. And I understand that. That is also a reaction that is based in your own pain. That is also a reaction that is based in your own fear, that is based in your own sense of guilt around whatever is going on. Your incorrect guilt, your incorrect core beliefs about what happened to you. Recognize that that other person is in pain. It doesn't make the way they're yelling at you right. It doesn't make what they're doing to you right. It doesn't say it's okay for you to stomp on me. You can still create boundaries for yourself. You can still choose to behave differently. When you choose to react differently, you change the stimuli. Let's use a different example. Cops are used to people giving them attitude when they get pulled over, right? So when the cop walks up, he already expects attitude, so he gives attitude, okay? And you then have the choice to respond with attitude because he's triggered you with his disrespect, or to react recognizing that he came on hard like that because he was anticipating your disrespect. And so in that moment, you have a choice to choose. Now, when you choose a different response than what he expects, you now change what happens next with him. Because he was waiting for trigger A, disrespect, and he was prepared for A. But then you gave him B, kindness. So now he has a different trigger. Now he has a different trigger. So now he has to respond differently. And most people will shift their behavior because you have triggered a different response in them with your actions, because they're different from what they expected. And if we shift this into someone that we know, into a partner that we have, into our loved one, into our spouse, into our partner, our boyfriend, our girlfriend, our significant other, when we shift this into that relationship, they are there. You are in this relationship to help each other grow. And so the issues mirror each other in a way, right? So someone who feels like nobody ever listens is going to be paired up with someone who doesn't listen, so that each of them can overcome that issue. So when you recognize in the other person, they need you to give them the regular trigger that they expect so that they can continue to behave exactly the same way. But when you shift your behavior to something different, it forces them to react differently. Now, sometimes when they react differently, you both grow and things get better. And sometimes they will react in such a way that you grow apart, that they fall off. They organically step out of the situation somehow. But you change their behavior. You can't actually make other people do what you want them to do, but you can change their behavior by changing how you react to what they're doing now. Remember, you are beloved. You matter. You are loved.